Hi, welcome to Monterey's Cooking. I'm Cookin Pisto. We are in the state of Washington, in the southern part of the Puget Sound called Totten Inlet, and we're with the Taylor Shellfish people. And today we're going to show you how they grow those beautiful, beautiful mussels that are the European black variety. You can see I'm ready for it. We have to wear these vests. I'll get my boots on. There's a boat that's going to take us out to the mussel beds, so why don't we get going, and this should be a very, very interesting trip. Hi, we're here with Bill Dewey and Gordon King, and as you can see, we're on a raft in the middle of the Puget Sound here. Boys, explain to us what's going on. Now, this is all mussel harvesting. Explain to us.
What you're looking at here, John, this is out on one of our mussel farms in Totten Inlet, and the mussels grow hanging suspended from ropes underneath this wooden raft, the 2x4 raft that you see beside me. And at harvest time, what we do is this platform that the mussels are on right now gets lowered down. This will submerge down, and they float the wooden raft in over it. And then they cut the mussels loose from the wooden raft, and the mussels drop down onto the aluminum deck, which is submerged underneath it. And then they move the raft off, and then they winch the deck back up. So now they have the mussels up here where it's dry, and they can work on them.
Wow.
What these guys are doing, the mussels grow attached to these net socks. And he's stripping the mussels off the sock, and then they'll sweep the mussels across the deck into the net brailer, and then they'll lift the net brailer up, which you'll see in a bit here, and dump them into the canvas harvest bags. And then the boat will go to the beach and meet a truck and transfer the bags to a truck, and the truck will take them to the processing.
Wow. Amazing.
They'll run about 1,000 pounds in each one of these canvas bags. So they've finished harvesting for the day now. The mussels that are left on the deck are going to be submerged below the surface, where they'll hold until tomorrow, and then they'll come back out and get those for tomorrow's harvest.
Bill, why don't you explain to us what the beard is? Now this I understand, this is what they fasten onto the rope or onto the rocks. I understand they're even making a glue from
That's what I understand. I don't know if they're using it for dentures or something like that. It's a natural glue. They're very strong, and that's how the mussels attach themselves to the socks that hang down from the farm.
Right here. So when we're ready to eat this, what we do is we pull it up, or is it? No, you pull it up or down.
Yeah, up.
Or
pull it towards me.
Yeah, and that kills the mussel, but it alleviates this so that you can chew. This would be real tough and fibrous.
Some people even when they're cooking, you know, from our standpoint, that know the mussels and eat them frequently, as long as you clean it up, you can cook it with the bistle thread on it, and then bistle thread gives you a handle to eat the mussel. Once you pop it out of the shell and you just bite it off the bistle thread. You don't have to take the bistle off.
Good idea.
Anyhow, this is what they look like coming off the farm, and you can see the bistle threads hold the cluster all together, and then it also holds it to the nets that are down from the farm. And then they'll go into their processing plant, and you'll see them later today. We'll get them washed off, and these are just fouling organisms that live. These are sea anemones that live attached to the mussels, and all the mud is a lot of dead algae. This is actually what they're feeding on in the water. There's so much nutrients out here in the water.
Look at that.
This is mainly what you're seeing is the Mediterranean mussel that we farm, but you also see here in the middle of this cluster, this is the local mussel, the Middleus trocellus. That's the native mussel that grows in these areas.
Wow. What country consumes the most mussels per capita?
Well, that's a good question. Is it Spain, Gordon? I think it may be Spain.
I hear the Belgians eat a lot of mussels.
Yeah,
too.
It may be the Belgians. It's not North America, but we're working on that.
You know what, folks, you really should try mussels because they are absolutely delicious. I mean, it's so mild in the flavor and good for you. I mean, I can't say enough good things about mussels. Very, very good. Interesting. Mussels lovers go crazy. Look at this. This is about 1,000 pounds of mussels. Now, folks, you know, this is probably a good time to talk about safety. For those of you that live along the seashore, you know, you just can't go down and get mussels anytime you want. Bill, explain to people that, you know, we have red tides on the west coast.
Right.
And so, you know, really, if you know what you're doing, or buy them, that's probably the best way.
Well, there's a couple of issues when it relates to safety. One is we have biotoxins, natural biotoxins in the water, which is the red tide that you mentioned, and that's it's a marine phytoplankton that's in the water that the shellfish can feed on and has toxins associated with it. And they'll concentrate the toxins, and then if you eat the shellfish, the toxins will affect you. And we, from a commercial industry, all our product is sampled on a weekly basis. We test it and have it sent to a state lab where they monitor the toxin levels if there's any present. And recreationally, you have to be careful. In Washington State here, we actually there's an 800 number you can call before you go out and recreational harvest to see if the beach is open or see if there's red tide problems there.
That's very smart.
The other issue is whether there's pollution in the water or not. And occasionally, you might have a home on the shore that would have a failing septic system, or if you're in an urban area, there might be sewage treatment plants with outfalls. So you have to be careful about where you're harvesting your shellfish. And again, with commercial operations, all of our shellfish beds are certified by the State Department of Health to make sure that our shellfish are safe to consume.
I know every bag of mussels or oysters we get, we usually have a tag on it.
That's right. All your commercial stuff will have a tag on it that'll say what the shellfish is, how much of it, who the harvester was, what his certification number was, and so on, the date it was harvested. All that information will be on those tags. That's real important.
In a restaurant, you can, you know, provided that the shellfish has been handled properly, once the restaurateur gets it, you're eating safe shellfish.
That's right. Yeah.
Good. All right. I really want to thank our friends at Taylor Shellfish for showing us and teaching us about mussels. Don't forget, folks, eat your mussels. So now we're going to be taken to another spot on the Puget Sound where these are the nursery beds. This is where they start with the little tiny ones and you let them feed, and we're going to show you how it's actually done here.
So this is a brand new raft. The guys were waiting on this
Oh boy.
to socket. At the moment we've got about 66 rafts, and 68 of them have seed on them. I mean, have mussels on them.
Yeah.
See the weight he's hanging on the bottom of the sock there. And he drops that down, and he feeds the seed mussels in as he's doing it.
Look at that.
And it's like a Chinese finger, you know. It used to
The Chinese fingers, you're like,
you know, it holds the mussels in that way, and then after about 24 hours, they start secreting their byssal thread and attaching, migrating out of the sock, and then grow attached to the net on the outside.
So this is some of the seed.
This is some of the mussel seed that he's putting into the socks here. This is the tray that he's holding.
Look at their work. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Doesn't that look beautiful? There they are growing. Look at that. Can you believe that? There they are. And that needs what, about another year?
These, in about 12 months, these will be ready for harvest.
Wow.
You can see this raft is pretty low in the water compared to the ones beside me. And when we first seed the rafts and the mussels are tiny, it doesn't take a lot of flotation and the raft sits pretty high. But then as the crop grows bigger and the mussels mature, the raft starts to sink down in the water. Sometimes we have to put extra barrels in there just to keep the raft floating. But these are some of the triploid mussels, our sterile mussels that we have for when the product is spawning. We have nice fat mussels to sell. We can produce those with the hatchery. But that's a nice looking sock of mussels there.
Wow, look at that. Now, let's get some of these mussels and go cook them. Well, folks, I thought I'd tasted everything. But I'll tell you, this is my new friend Sin, and she is got to be one of the best chefs I've met in quite a while. Now, I got to admit though, you're using some of the best products I've ever seen too, and you got to start with the best to make the best.
This is our first product, shellfish from Taylor.
Yes, it's all Taylor shellfish. And right behind us is all the water, a lot of the stuff comes from. And now you're going to be making what for us?
I'm going to do Mediterranean mussel,
Okay.
saute and herb and spices.
Wait till you see this. You will not believe the look of these mussels. Now, I just got back from Europe, and I thought the mussels were good there. Nothing like them, huh? These are the finest.
Okay.
Okay, she knows what she's doing. You need some help?
John had to go get mussel from the sink.
Oh, we need John?
Oh, did he go?
We need mussels from the sink. Oh,
Here,
okay.
get a plate or something you put
Okay,
it on.
here we go. All right, so you just sauteed some butter and some herbs.
I forgot about the mussel in there.
And you forgot about the mussel. Oh. Okay, here we go. Now, how long have you been cooking? Now, your style is you say you're Vietnamese?
Yes.
So you're cooking a little style of what, Vietnamese, maybe a little Italian?
Well, no. I like to think that I cook a little Vietnamese, more Asian than Italian, but in the restaurant, when they open them, we're just trying to come up with recipes, what we want to serve the shellfish, what we have in Taylor Farm.
Okay.
So what I come up with, like the mussel, I have the red sauce, like Mediterranean sauce.
Tomato sauce?
Tomato sauce.
Really?
But, you know, my creation, I do my own
That's
stuff.
good. Well,
so.
that's called fusion now.
Yes, that's what it is. So, anyway, and, you know, to get a variety dish on our restaurant, so that's what I do. So, just one.
Okay, here's the mussels.
Thank you.
Now, we look at these. John, these are the European mussels that you're growing here. And again, this is the summer. And folks, you are not going to believe what these mussels look like. You will not believe. I've never tasted anything like this in my life.
Sweet, tender.
Absolute finest. It's just the finest. Put a little lemon, a little this, a little that. You got a nice hot burner too, huh?
Yes.
That works good.
You can take these anywhere at the burner.
I know. I got to get one of these. I've got everything else. We might as well get one of these, huh?
Yeah. Little basil.
Yeah. Oh. So, John, you have these mussels, what, all year round now?
Oh, these mussels
this variety?
These mussels are best right now.
July, August, September is when they're peak.
And then what happens after that?
Well, they spawn in the wintertime, but look how
Okay. That's incredible.
very fat, very
Never seen
plump,
anything like
tender, sweet.
that. Most mussels you get nowadays are just all shrunk up. There's nothing there. You have to eat 3 dozen to get full, or even to
These are
know
the
you
best.
ate them.
The food in this bay is just ideal for growing shellfish. The best in the world.
Jeez.
Totten Inlet.
What's the name of it?
Totten Inlet.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't tell everybody that. That's in Oregon,
Yeah,
folks.
give me,
We don't want to let the secret out.
we have to give the secret, you know.
Taylor shellfish. No, I tell you. You got a new respect for shellfish, I'll tell you that. Look at that. These are just starting to open now. Ah, boy. How long have you been cooking now, Sim?
Well, I don't know. I've been working for Taylor for like on and off for the last 15 years
No
or
kidding.
longer.
Oh, right.
You know, and so to cook, when I work for the company, when they have buyers come in or some people come to visit, then I cook. First we start out like saute manila clam and oyster and all that stuff. But then I start cook more and more, so I create more dish. Been cook on and off for 15 years, but not professionally. Up to 5 years ago, I entered the cooking contest in Oyster Fest with the amateur, because I'm not full-time cooking for living, you know.
Yeah.
I win that one.
But I hear you're pretty fast.
Yeah, I did.
Was that the oyster opener?
No, but cooking amateur.
Oh, okay.
I entered one dish and I win the best of main dish and the best of overall.
What dish was it?
Mussel curry. Mediterranean mussel curry.
Oh my gosh.
You know, in the curry sauce.
Now what's this I hear you're supposed to be a pretty good shucker?
Well,
5 times world champion, I heard.
West Coast champion.
Oh, West Coast
Yeah,
champion.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
3rd national, so
Yeah?
I'm not quite world yet.
Yeah, I'm going to loosen up for you. I think you'll put me in the sack if I try to go
I have
with
a knife for you right there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pick
boy.
that up and
All right.
see what you can do with it.
Okay. All right. Well, I've done more jiving than shucking.
Well, I'm doing a little shucking, a little
Okay.
jiving.
You're a sweetheart. Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, well,
All
then
right.
you want to shuck
Okay, which one?
this for you.
Why did you take that one?
Because this is my favorite knife.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to see why.
It's different because
Okay.
we can't use these knives anymore because they wouldn't handle. You
Oh,
know,
really?
for shuck for professionally because they say they contaminate. You
Oh,
know.
for the wood?
Yeah,
Really? No
but
kidding.
that's
So
why
now-
they
yep,
start on
I've
all.
seen these now.
But I like my favorite knife. So.
Okay, well, I'll let you have that edge. Now, you're going to give me a handicap, right? In other words, you're going to give me like 5 to start with because you're 5 times.
I don't know. You might pull my leg because
No.
you might be good at it.
I don't know. Well, folks, get myself into a good one here. Actually, my specialty is mussels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I open mussels better than oysters.
I don't know how to open muscle.
That's
but
what we're going to do then.
I can do it pretty good though. We shuck for meat sometimes to sell them, you know,
Yeah.
for deep fry the meat. So there we
Look
are.
at this. Okay.
Ready to eat, so everybody
Okay.
can just
Look at this. Did you got a shot of that? Look at that. Look at this.
nice big mussel.
That is absolutely incredible. Folks, you know what? We just don't need enough mussels in this country. In Europe, they can't grow enough of them. Here, we got to learn to enjoy mussels because
It's a new to this
Oh,
country
they're
though, but they are healthy and
there's less cholesterol in these than most shellfish.
they're more reasonable shellfish
and
too.
they
I mean
are
they really
reasonable.
are.
But when you get a product like this, I
And-
mean, this got to be the finest in the world,
You
without
can
a
do
doubt.
a lot of way with them. Cause they mild, you can cook with a lot of different, you know, herbs and spices, whatever way you
Well,
want it.
let's try one out. We've already
Might be
eaten
hot,
some of these.
though.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be hot. But boy, how can you resist this? Look at this. Mmm. 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 Absolutely fantastic. It is. That's the best I've ever had, without a doubt. Thank you so
But
much.
this is supposed to be cooking on the beach, so I only
Oh,
have limited
yeah.
season, you know, spice and herbs.
Gee, with
and
the
stuff.
wood smoke getting inside, it'd be good. Okay, folks, so there you have it. These are the people that made this trip possible. I want to thank, first of all, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. Thank you so much. It was very, very nice of you to put up with all our antics. Sin, I want to thank you for being
welcome.
real good. We're going to get even with you one of these days. Bill, thank you very much. And John, my buddy, mushroom hunter. And
Yeah, we got
and-
chanterelles in 2 weeks.
oh, boy. But thanks for inviting us up here. And I'm sure we've opened people's eyes on eating shellfish, and particularly the quality that's grown up here. You have really something to be proud of. I've never seen quality like this. Again, that's called Taylor shellfish, folks. Okay, thank you again. You know, folks, when you're on a vacation, or when I'm on a vacation, there's nothing more enjoyable than hitting these little out of place towns and looking for really unusual things, such as little wineries. And this winery, we understand, has some very interesting wines. This man specializes in fruit wines and berry wines. So let's go in and take a taste. I'm with Dick Patterson, the owner of the winery, and Dick, you know, Loganberry rhubarb. You don't see these very often. How'd you start making these wines?
When we made them when we first started, I was a home winemaker, and we used blackberries, rhubarb, anything that grew in this area to make wine. And when we first opened the winery, we started making the fruit and berry wines. This is 20 years ago.
And then you've gotten into the conventional wines like the Chardonnays and
Oh yeah, all the
Merlot. Is Merlot as popular here as it is down?
Yeah. it's-
California?
Yeah, Merlot is,
Drinking it hot, pretty good.
I would say probably the best Washington red.
Really. And these are all coming out of eastern Washington?
Yeah, right around Prosser,
Mm-hmm.
Yakima River.
Yeah, okay. Well, there certainly are some very, very notable wines out of the state of Washington. Well, thank you for,
Thank you.
for taking the time out to
Appreciate
talk
you
to us.
coming.
And it's good wine. Keep making
Oh,
them.
will
Good for you.
do.
All right.